Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Australian report. I'd just like to start with the S&P 500, and of course there's Thanksgiving happening for this market for the Thursday, and also part of Friday, short-term hours on the Friday. So we haven't really seen much movement in this particular market, but it's really the reason I'm showing it for is really just sort of tune this into the Australian market as well. Now, I know that the Nasdaq has been leading higher, and I can see that Apple and Amazon, they still need to move higher as well within this sort of pattern here. So I'm just figuring the Australian market will be doing much the same as well. So in this case here, we're looking at this wave 4 here, and we're looking at wave 1 here and 2 here. And then normally wave 3 is the longest and the strongest. So we are seeing wave 1 and 2 and 3 here. We've just had this fourth wave here, and now we should see, if I can just get my little drawing tool, just at a guess here, I need to look at this a bit closer, but 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up here, and then the A, the B and the C here, which can pull back down to the wave 4 here, and then looking for wave 5 up here, because the extension's in wave 3. That means that wave 1 here and wave 5 will be roughly the same. So I'm thinking that in this sort of area here, there's important numbers here. Of course, this is the top of group 1 here, so finding support here then would put this number here in play, 2650. This is an extremely important number. This is more important to me than 2,600 and 2,700. This one here plays a stronger part. It's halfway between the 500 and the 800. But we'll just track the wave count up there. But yeah, look, just to get a bit of an idea of this particular structure moving up here, we can look at the Australian market and do much the same here, and keeping it kind of simple. But before we get to that little move up here being wave 4 here, there's two ways to look at this here. I mean, I've got wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and this wave 2 goes lower than wave 1 here, but on the cash market it doesn't. So we've either got 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 up here for the third wave, and the fourth wave and the fifth wave to go here, or we've got a top in place already here, which would bring this to a different count. It would bring this as 5 waves to this point up here, and then we're actually already starting the move down here already in this case here. So yeah, I'm not too sure about this, but we just really need to be mindful of these two counts here. So just being mindful that we've got that situation there. We need to know where the bearish triggers are for this scenario here. So just going to the hourly chart, which has got the bullish move on it here. So this is really sluggish moving up here, and but it's the same as the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 that we just looked at, but it's just really sluggish. So what we're looking for here is we're looking for a move up today, and then an A and a B and a C correction here, and then another move to go higher up here as well to finish this off here. That's what, and this is kind of what we're thinking here. So I mean, in the bullish weekly cycle, everything's going on track here. That means that Thursday is the bearish day, and Friday and Monday will be the bullish days coming in. So if Friday's not bullish today, then we've got a problem, okay? Because the move up here so far can also be counted. If I could just copy one of these, an A and a B, and oops. And a C wave, well, it needs to finish off here. I mean, maybe it's squashed in there, but I couldn't see it here and finish here. So I was sort of thinking, that this wave 4 here is not in a good position as well. This is being dominated by the banks as well. If we just have a look at the banks for a moment. So taking ANZ here just as an example, these banks have moved into a corrective space. Now, there's a few things here. They're all, well, ANZ and WBC are pretty much the same. And then, Macquarie Bank is more in line with the US banks. CBA is doing something different. But the weight is on these guys here. So this, in this move here, I've got one, and this is the same as WBC, but 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So I can call that an A wave here. This one's got an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave. And then this one here is definitely in 3 waves, so I have to call it a B wave. And this one here is 1 and 2, and then a strong 3rd wave down, a 4th wave here, and a 5th wave here. So this has kind of got a little bit lower to drop even here to make a new low here. To give me 5 waves here, but once those 5 waves are finished, we should see a retest of the 30 at that stage. Yeah, I mean, technically with this, we should see a move up into this space here in 5 waves for this market, and same with WBC, but we need these 5 waves down here to finish first here. Yeah, I mean, it's just not, this pattern's not finished, and this is why the ASX is being dragged down a lot as well. So, even though that the ASX has been moving up through here, and the banks have been moving down, it's making it really sluggish. It's really, there's a real fight on between the the materials and this here. So this is why it's not looking very sort of positive here. Let's see if what occurs today, yeah, it's just a bit of a tricky one. There's no sort of real trade in here. I mean, if the set, I mean, even this may even come down here to finish off like the banks do first here, a bit weak on the opening, and then pick up for the day. So, I mean, normally I'd look to go short if the group 2 here became the retested resistance from this point here as well. But I don't want to do that just yet, not with Friday being the bullish day and Monday being bullish day. So we may see a weaker opening, and then in about 20 minutes then gathering itself together and then moving up for the day. So just be a little bit mindful of that. Obviously, the if we look at the midpoint here, the 59.50 here being a retested resistance here, then we need to be short from that point there. But just allow it to be weak on the opening and see if it gathers itself. I mean, if Friday closes, it looks sort of weak, in the middle of the day, or rather late in the morning session, because most of the volume comes in the first hour and a half, and then leaves in the last sort of 2 hours of the day. Yeah, if it's weak at 11 o'clock, then we know that we're in a bearish mode at that point, and we would need to look at this whole move up here as the A, the B, and the C wave here, which we're kind of doing on the, we've got wave 3 here and wave 4 here, and looking for wave 5 here in line with the US. It's just really weak because our banks are pulling it down at this point here, so it's just a real struggle with everything. On the tick chart here, I've got this as wave 5 up here, is finished here, and that counts quite nicely as that point there too. And then it looks at this as being an A and a B, and then looking for 5 waves up here. But I couldn't call this wave 5 in here. I couldn't put that over there because I've only got 3 waves here. So I'm thinking this is the 3rd here with an A and a B and a C finishing down here for this 4th, even though it's overlapping this wave 1 here. Because when I look on the cash market, if I take this and look at the cash market here, this is a 15-minute chart on the physical market, we can see that we've got wave 1 here and ABC for wave 2, the same as what we've got on the other markets. And here I've got wave 1 and 2, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to make the 3rd wave, and then the A, the B, and the C for the 4th wave here. So we should be moving up here, according to the cash market as such. So yeah, it's just not finished to the upside just yet. So we should be heading higher with this market. So yeah, look, just give it 15, 20 minutes, and if you see some strength coming into the market, then look to go long from that point. So with that said and done, we could go long, above here, so to speak, getting, if you can see a nice support, if you can see these numbers here becoming group 2 here becoming a support, then move into the long side here on these. All right, I'll leave it at that. So, yeah, look, our banks are weak. They've got a little bit more to go down, so these might finish a little bit lower in here to finish this leg here. The US markets have got Thanksgiving Day from last night. They've got shorter trading days today, so there's not going to be a lot of volume coming in on that side either, but we should still see it push up. So, yeah, the pathway is up. But yeah, there's just these elements that are not sort of going to help it push up. So let's have our short a change in trend at for the downside at 59.50. Alrighty, cheers.